What's going on, everyone from OCHA MOCHA? I'm your host, Andrew Eisenhart, and today we have a special guest, Y'all, joining us. He's a Ghanaian American recording artist from New Jersey based in the DMV. He's released projects such as the Came From EP and hashtag Wake Up Call compilation, as well as 2 albums, The Ninth Theory, and his latest project, Jungle. Yao, welcome to the show. How you feeling?
Thank you. I'm feeling good.
Before we really get into things, your artist name is XYO, and to clear things up, can you give me the pronunciation of that as well as what that name means to you?
So my artist name is XYO. It's pronounced XO. What it means is it's kind of like a play on math terms. It's like the X just stands for like a by. So like in math, you're like three by four. So it's by Yao Wusu, basically.
So you were talking about math with your name pronunciation. Do you study math at all, or like what is your major? I know that you go to UMBC, but what exactly is your major and what are you hoping to gain from that?
I'm studying media and communications at UMBC, but prior to I went to Hampton University as well, and I did electrical engineering there. And I was always math was always one of my favorite subjects, so that's kind of like where the name comes from.
One of your songs off the project hashtag Wake Up Call is named Mr. Jones. Throughout the years, there have been many different Mr. Jones appear in pop culture, such as characters in the James Bond film Dr. No and the book Animal Farm by George Orwell. What Mr. Jones inspired you to name the song after him, and did you write the song with him in mind?
So the song was actually just a concept. Actually, it comes from that saying of keeping up with the Joneses, and so yeah, I wasn't hip with the references that you just that you just said, but just seeing and observing like things in the culture, how like it's always this sense of, all right, I have to do this so that I can like have this level of status or whatever. That's where the concept of the song came from. And shout out to 204 Noon on that too, because he's on that track and he killed it.
I have some questions about some of the lyrics from that song. You wrote in this song that you were buying things that you can't really afford. Is that true? Have you been buying things like frivolously recently? And if so, what are some of the things that you like to really splurge on?
Yeah, so definitely buying dumb stuff like chains and all that. It's I like to think that I have a sense of fashion, and I like clothes. I like buying clothes. I like accessorizing. And as I was writing that, I was like, okay, yeah, let me talk about my own experiences like doing that as well. So yeah, it's it's real life. What's crazy about that song is I actually wrote it in 2014.
What medium did you write it on that you could hold on to since 2014? Was that like in your notes, or was that just a piece of paper just lying around?
No, so I actually that whole project, we worked on it. Everyone on that project, we worked on it, wrote it, and everything in 2014, and we released it on like SoundCloud and stuff like that. And then as the years like progressed and all that, like I just decided to re-release it on streaming. I really liked it, and everyone that was a part of it really liked it, and we just thought that it would be good to do like a re-release like that.
As a child, you immigrated from Ghana. Can you give me some insight as to what that experience was like and how it shaped you into the person you are today?
Sure, yeah. So I moved to the U.S. when I was 6. Well, actually 5 going on 6, and yeah, it was different. It was definitely a culture shock. Like growing up there, you always heard about like going to America or like thought about going to America, but actually being here was like a whole new language. Even though we spoke English in Ghana, it was just the accents were different. The culture, the lifestyle was just different. So it was definitely an adjustment. I remember one of the things I remember vividly is like I would be in class and I would be speaking in English, and then I would alternate to my native language, which is Chi, and I had to like train myself to not do that in a sense because I would be speaking and people would be like, "What did you just say?" And then I would be like, "Oh wait, no, I meant to say this," you know. So yeah, it was an adjustment at first, but I feel like I've been here for so long now that it's like just here now.
You were talking about having a culture shock when you first came here. What was one of your favorite foods to eat?
Definitely Chinese food. Like We didn't have that in Ghana. So definitely Chinese food was and it's still one of my favorite foods to eat. I love General Tso chicken. My go-to. So yeah. Of course like everyday things too, like burgers and fries and all that. Like we eat a lot of like rice based and stew based foods in Ghana. So all of that was different. All of that was an adjustment.
I believe that you were the first artist to be signed to Nostalgia Noir Records. It's a big risk signed to a new label. So what made you decide to go with Nostalgia Noir, and can you tell me what it's been like working with them?
Yeah, so I was the first artist, and what made me decide to go with them was that they not only were they like did it seem like they had a strong business sense for like providing the tools necessary for artists and having a vision for the artists, like you know the path forward, like um, marketing, promotion, and all of that, but they also had a passion for music, you know and that's something that I really appreciate and look for when I'm working with others. Like I like to work with people who love music because yeah, it's a business, but when it's all said and done, it's like you're not gonna go above and beyond for something you don't love. Yeah, that was one of the things that really attracted me to the label. And thus far, it's been a blessing working with them. It's been amazing because we put out Jungle, and I feel like just being a part of that environment, like the album came together really well, and also um, their help in marketing and promotion, like I said earlier, has just been phenomenal. So
The like jungle behind the scenes shit that you've been posting on IG is like, I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
was really, I was really having fun.
Nah, it's been an experience. Every time that like we've linked up to like do something like that, like a video or a photo shoot or whatever, it's been a movie, you know. And yeah, it's tough. Like we gotta get you out there on one of these.
I will definitely come. You just tell me the place and I'll show up as fast as possible.
There's so much that goes into a music video, and it's like working with people that are professional about that and like have a plan to actually implementing what needs to be done is awesome. Like shout out to Steven to he did the jungle video and he did the turbo video, which should be out in a couple weeks as well. But yeah, Stevie D Productions. Yeah, that's another resource that the label has provided, just connecting with people and artists like that.
I've noticed that a lot of your clothes you wear come from local DMV brands, whether that be merch from a podcast or a local clothing brand just starting up. How do you find these brands and why do you think it's important to support other creatives in your area?
Yeah, a lot of them are either friends or friends of friends that I know of, and I really like supporting small business. I feel like that's everyone says that's the lifeblood of our economy of America, but it's really true. It's without them, like you don't see communities actually like get together and operate functionally. Like without that local restaurant or without that local deli, like it's important. I feel like it's important to support them because they're your everyday people. They're just like and honestly, a lot of times they make stuff like better than the really big brands because their stuff is more catered to mass production, so they're not taking the time to individually inspect pieces, and building relationships with people like that. I found it just to be more rewarding and better, not only for myself but for the community at a whole at large. Shout out to Porsche Stories, Message Patches, more clothing and all that, more apparel. Yeah, like I'm always looking for small business clothing lines like that because like I said before, like, I like fashion. I like to I do a little bit of splurging on fashion. So definitely, if you have a clothing brand or anything like that, just small business in general, feel free to hit me up on Instagram or whatever, and yeah, I'll check out your stuff.
You posted a video on Instagram of you making some Ghanaian jollof rice. Is this your favorite Ghanaian dish to eat? And in your opinion, what is a food from Ghana that everyone should try?
It is my favorite, and that is a food that everyone should try. Jollof rice
Is it
is
really that
mad
good?
good. Yeah, yeah, it's so good.
What type of
Um,
spices do you put in it?
so it's usually tomatoes, it's onions, it's peppers, a little bit of curry. You can, and obviously everyone makes it differently. It's actually not unique to Ghana. Within like the West African countries, there's always like jollof wars, like competing to see who has the best jollof rice. But Ghana's always in like that top five. So I feel like we have pretty good jollof, and my jollof especially is upper echelon. So we'll brag on myself a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely try jollof rice. Try fufu is another one. It's usually prepared with like a soup, with like a peanut soup or a light soup. Yeah, a lot of our dishes are either rice based or tomato based. Like there's some combination of that. Fufu, the actual fufu is cassava or plantain or both, or the mixture of both. But if you haven't tried Ghanaian food, definitely try it. Find a Ghanaian friend, support a Ghanaian business.
Do you have any Ghanaian restaurants around here that you would recommend to someone who's never tried Ghanaian food before?
Not around here that I know of. I know there's a couple African stores that sell like products like that. But no, there which is bad too and sad. Like there aren't any Ghanaian restaurants per se around here. Might be something that someone has to start.
You performed quite a few times at UMBC for the sound check sessions hosted by RMS. Have you performed at any other venues, and what's the craziest show that you've done so far?
So I just performed at Base of Life. They're like a festival slash like podcast type show. They come on every Sunday. Performing for label performances. Before UMBC, I used to do open mics in Baltimore, hosted by this dude called Nova. Shout out to him, by the way. The craziest performances, I would say, would have to be either last performance I did for RMS. I think that was probably my favorite. I feel like the set list was just came together really well, and it was really cohesive, and I feel like I got a good reception from it. Another one was when I was performing in Baltimore. I performed this song where I'm actually speaking partly in my native tongue, and uh, it was just a vibe. Like everyone liked it. They started dancing and all that. And as an artist, like for me, that's my favorite part about performing when you see that manifestation of people enjoying your music. Yeah, those are two of my favorite performances.
And I was at your last RMS performance, and I remember you came on stage with a handful of roses. What was
Yeah.
up with the roses?
So the roses, the roses for chocolate chips. So chocolate chips is like a song where I'm not necessarily putting on a serenade for this woman, but it's like I want to show my appreciation for her, right? I want to show that I care for her. So the roses are just a representation of that, like giving flowers to them, giving her flowers, before it's too late, type of thing. That's my favorite part about doing music and making music is performing. I like crowd engagement, and I like providing an experience for the crowd. So like something like Roses, like if I can do it in a way where people remember, like, damn, yo, really, like that's tough to me. I love that. I appreciate that. Makes me feel like I did my job as an artist.
It's said that in your free time you like to play video games. If you had to pick your all-time favorite video game era, which would it be and why?
Ooh, what do you mean favorite video game era?
I guess I'm talking, if we're talking more like Call of Duty first person shooter era, which was like 2011 to like 2015, or the Battle Royale type era that we're looking at now, or past arcade games. If we're talking like Super Mario, like which one would you say had the best games come out?
And I have to say, I'm really enjoying the battle royale era right now. Um, I'm actually getting into Fortnite a lot. Like I started playing it a while back, but I've been playing it a lot more recently. Um, the Call of Duty era, I got into Call of Duty, but it was really only zombies for me. Like I never really got into the online multiplayer and all that. For video games, I've really always been like a 2K, FIFA type person. Assassin's Creed. Um, I think my favorite would have to be Battle Royale era right now for for Fortnite. I play with like my little cousins and my sister and all that, so that's another chance that I get to like bond with them and all that. So I like it. It's tough to me.
We gotta run some Fortnite one time. We gotta run some Fortnite.
Definitely, bro. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm good. I'm better at like strategically like positioning myself to like, either snipe or shoot. Like, I'm sick with the shotgun. Like that's my shit.
Staying on the topic of video games, you can be seen on Instagram rocking the Tetris Puma RSXs. Did your love for gaming influence you to get these shoes, or did you just think that they look cool?
Nah, I just thought they looked cool. Like for real. Like, but yeah, I did used to play Tetris, a little bit of Tetris and all that. But yeah, I actually didn't catch that they were the Tetris Pumas. Yeah, but yeah, I just thought they looked cool. Nah, so I gotten this hoodie from More Apparel, and it was like an orange hoodie, and I'm like, I don't necessarily like to match, but I like things that like play off of other colors, and that was perfect for it because it has like that little tinge of orange, but not too much, So yeah, that's why I got them.
On Instagram, you can be seen making your own beats, and on the Jungle album, you produced the song 5 a.m. Do you prefer making beats for yourself, or would you rather get beats from other producers, and how does the song making process differ when you make your own beats?
I would rather get beats from other producers. Like when I produce, it's very like an in the moment kind of thing. I I don't produce often. I just like when I'm feeling a certain way or like I'm playing with something and I actually like really like it. That's when I start to like rap to it or whatever. But it's never been something that I was like, all right, yeah, I want to be a producer type. Like um, there was a point when I'm a really big Kanye fan. There was a point when like I thought I might, but it's just I like writing more than I like producing. You know. And what was the second part of your question?
How does the song making process differ when you make your own beats versus getting a beat from someone else?
Not much. I think the biggest difference is that when I'm making a beat for myself, because I do the melodies first. So once I have the melody, excuse me, once I have the melody, I start writing to the melody, whether it's a hook, whether it's a verse. Um, so that aspect is different. But when I get a beat from someone else, I kind of just I run it on the speakers and then I just kind of like try to either like vibe to it or like see what the vibe is to it, and I just like freestyle to it, you know. Um, and yeah, I guess that's the difference. Another difference. Like I don't really freestyle to stuff when I'm making the beat. It's kind of like I'm producing the beat, so I already have an idea of like where the direction of the song and all that. When I get beats from other people, I'm like freestyling, and then I get a concept, and then I write.
You had a little bit of a beef with UPS when you got a box from them that looked like it went 3 rounds with Conor McGregor in an MMA match. Was the product inside still alright? And do you still hold a grudge against UPS till this day?
Nah, the product wasn't all right. It was pretty damaged. But they got back to me though, and they resolved the issue and all that. So I don't hold it against them too much. They say that. Yeah, I mean it happens. I feel like it happens, but of course we see things especially on the news of like you know some delivery drivers just like throwing packages and all that. And I get it; it's a stressful job and all that. But I wish those people that do that would also exercise some restraint and some patience and uh, care with people's packages.
There was some malice towards that box in the shipping
Yeah,
process.
yeah. I don't know what the box did to it, but I hope they're feeling better now.
As previously stated, before you moved to Baltimore, you lived in New Jersey. How is the culture in Baltimore different from the culture in New Jersey? And do you hope to bring some of that New Jersey culture to Baltimore?
Before I lived in Maryland, I actually lived in Cali, and before that in New York. So it's actually been a little minute since I lived in Jersey, like over like 10 years type. But Jersey is like it's kind of like a laid back New York, right? And in that sense, it's similar to California, but it's also not that laid back. Like it's not that relaxed, you know. Our music is a lot more up tempo, similar to like Be More club music, like you have Jersey club music. Yeah, there's definitely there's similarities. There's a lot of similarities between Jersey and Baltimore already in that like we both have club music. I feel like the lifestyle is very similar. The being near the coast, being on the East Coast, and all, like we share a similar culture. I think what I would bring down is definitely that Jersey club music. I feel like that it blends well with not just blends well, but I feel like it's different from Be More club music, and of course Be More also has go go. So I would be interested to see how like Jersey club music would blend with Be More club music and go go. I feel like that would be a tough mix.
All right, yeah. Well, thank you for being on the show with us. If you have anything that you want to plug right now, go ahead. Tell us what you're working on, what you're doing in the future. Let us know.
Just want to plug my label, Nostalgia Noir Records. Check out our podcast, the Creators Club podcast. It's on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of that. Like we mentioned earlier, we have the Jungle album out, which you can catch that on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all of that. Shout out to Porch Stories podcast. Shout out to all the clothing brands that I mentioned prior, Ness's Patches, More Apparel, TNT, Quality Services. And thank you to OCHA MOCHA for having me and letting me be y'all first guest. It's been amazing and I really enjoyed it. So thank you.